Season 2! Hello and welcome again and again to another episode of Life from the Abyss. Today with another very special guest episode. We're featuring Redtreevortex today. Would you mind introducing yourself, young man over there?
Vortex. I'm a small, variety content creator here on YouTube, and I'm glad to be here.
That's quick and easy. That's how I like it. That's good. So, Redtreevortex, variety content creator and YouTuber. How did you come up with the idea of, doing a YouTube channel, or what was your kind of motivation behind it?
Okay, so it's kind of a funny story. So, I didn't have a computer until actually the start of this year. So before that, you'll realize I did upload videos before I had a computer. And I would just, on iMovie, before I had a YouTube, just make random little clips of stuff and just send it to people, just funny little things. And one day, I just sent one to Rusty that I made, and he just said, you should make a YouTube channel off this. So, on a whim, I just pretty much clicked create channel, and that's where it started. Just me making, I would upload every other day, just making a short clip. I held that up for about 3 weeks until it was just so hard coming up with something new for a game that old.
Yeah.
Every 2 days.
That's true.
There was one time, I think, I was in school and we just had an off period. So just under my desk, I was like, oh no, I forgot to make something for today. So just for 30 minutes, I had some idea and I forgot which video it was, but it was not good. But it was something, and for some reason, that was my priority.
Okay. Well, at least you have some dedication behind it. That's very respectable. And how did you come up with the name and the profile picture and stuff?
The name I've had since I was really young. It started as just some Roblox account. And I don't even. The name, it's just Redtreevortex. That's what it is. And the picture came after the name. My friend originally just drew this on a piece of paper. Then it's a very heavily edited drawing. With it's a red tree on the side, a black hole in the middle, the vortex, and just another spout of space for the bottom of the arm.
It's very creative,
really
though.
hard to
I mean,
tell.
compared to some of the other stuff I've seen, it's very creative, so I at least give you some props for using something very original. I mean, you could have just taken an image of, let's say, a random enemy or something and just slapped a hat on that one. I mean, that would have been very,
No,
very
I think
boring.
that's definitely more creative.
Well, at least I actually did notice before that that's very clever, that you kind of compromise the profile picture out of the main three parts of your name. That's pretty ingenious, I must say. Well done.
A bunch of people think it's a rooster, and I just don't get it.
Yeah, I needed to see it from a close up because I think I really didn't know what it was before. I kind of saw an eye in there, but I didn't see a really the red tree and stuff. But now I see it clearly in front of me. I hope other people see it now as well. So that will at least be something.
There's been a lot of confusion a lot of times. I guess I can see how you can think that a little bit, but since I've seen it I've done a lot with it. I always just see it as an R.
Yeah. That's good point. And how well did you come to the Hollow Knight series, or the games, if I may ask?
Okay, so the way I really just purchase games in general is I put a lot of time into kind of researching it before I get it. So I wasn't huge into single player games before the pandemic, but during the pandemic I had a bunch of extra time on my hands, so I was like, I have nothing to do, might as well get a game. So I forgot what it was. The first one I got during the pandemic was Cuphead.
Oh, okay.
And that was my first actual when I was an actual teenager single player game. I played Nintendo games on my DS and Wii, but that I don't really count that. I count my real gaming experience that affected me. Cuphead's the first one. I really loved it, so I looked for something like Cuphead, and Hollow Knight showed up. This was 2020, maybe 2019, 2020, late 2019.
Okay.
But after like a month or two, I finally decided to buy Hollow Knight after a lot of just searching around, and I at the start it was a little bit iffy because I did not find the Snail Shaman for a while. But after I passed that, then I pretty much just fell in love with the game, and I haven't played it in a few weeks actually because
Yeah, me
I've been
neither.
playing a lot of Friday Night Funkin', and I actually
Ah.
booted up Undertale again yesterday.
Really? Undertale. That's
hmm
interesting. Okay, on the PC as well, or?
I got Hollow Knight on the Xbox because I didn't have a PC at that point, and I have a laptop, so I can't run like too much, but I could run Undertale.
Yeah.
And I
Good point.
started trying to do a genocide route yesterday. Then I got bored
Oh,
and just went to the
really?
Sans fight and did the Sans fight. I love the Sans fight.
Damn,
That's
I couldn't pass that with the moral convictions that I have. I think it's one of the few games where I would actually just I would feel guilty if I would do a genocide route. So I always just avoid it. I always just do pacifist, and that's good enough for me. But interesting. Haven't heard that one in a while. Okay.
I just love boss fights. That's probably like I love the Pantheon of Gods. I'm a pretty big fan of Dark Souls. I've only played the third one, but I've liked it so far. I might get the first one. I still haven't decided. I haven't had too much time recently, but and Cuphead's really what started that. But Sans is just such a fun boss. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
I guess so. I guess there's a certain kind of challenge behind it. It's just I'm a bit of a wimp to attempt such so. But interesting.
I wouldn't say I'm like good at them, but they're really de-stressing for me because when I'm doing it, I talked a little bit about this in like my psychology of boss battles video. But when I'm doing it, I can't really think of anything else. I'm just thinking about the boss fight, so there's no Redtreevortex life, just Sans. Must kill Sans.
Must kill sons. Okay. I see. Everyone go check out that video, by the way. It will probably, hopefully, if I remember that one, be put in the description. So go check it out. Speaking of further games, do you have any plans to play Hollow Knight Silksong, already acclaimed successor to the first installment of the Hollow Knight series?
Of course. There's no way like I would not play that. Like my top 3 games upcoming right now: Silksong, Elden Ring, and Crowsworn. That game, I saw it a few weeks ago. It just looks so cool.
Crowsworn? Okay.
I saw your video on it too.
Oh, thank you. I mean, the kind of following around the game has surprised me a bit because I expected the video to. I mean, for comparison, even though comparing views always sounds like a bit like, oh, why didn't I get too many views on that one? It sounds always a bit spoiled. But what I mean is basically that there was the one video about the Garden Warfare series that I did recently where I must say put more effort into than the Crowsworm video, yet it only got like I think 250 60 views, something around that. And the Crowsworm video surprised me because it got like multiple thousands, and I didn't expect the community to be this active already, especially because I think the Twitter of basically the creators, where it's like their main output kinda, they only have like they have 8,700, I think, followers right now.
They have 9,000 now.
9,000. Okay, then yeah.
Or that might be the Kickstarter. I'm not sure. It's big.
But it's definitely growing rapidly, which surprised me. I mean, the Discord server that they had has been growing as well and stuff, and it's very interesting to see that this kind of series, since it has gotten some kind of. I mean, Fireborn did a video on it. I think. I don't remember. I think Relia did one as well. I mean, I think he talked to the creators or the at least the
Relia
game.
and Rusty did one too.
Yeah, and I think that has kind of helped that one.
I might do a video on it, but it won't be just Crowsworn, or it might center around it, but just talking about like how it borrows ideas and how it's gonna like impact the future of Metroidvanias. We'll see. I haven't really made any.
Would be a good idea though. I'm very supportive of that. So you have have my full-fledged support on that one. So
Just every time I look at that game, I want to grab it. I want to.
it's getting better every time they reveal something. For the first kind of, I think for the first kind of trailer, I was like, meh, it looks okay. But since they've been like showing a few clips of it on their Twitter, it's been getting progressively more interesting towards me. So might pick it up as well, depending on when it comes out and how expensive it is and how much time I have on my hands. But it'll definitely be interesting to see how it develops. Yes. But
Yes.
returning
And
back,
when you were,
yeah.
oh yeah. Yeah, I just want a small thing here. When you were talking about the Garden Warfare video, me and my friend were actually just talking about video games the other day, and he was talking about how he was younger, he would play Garden Warfare, and like he thought the series progressively got worse as
Really?
it went on. And then
Really?
I went home, and the first thing I saw in my sub feed was that video, and I was
Progressively worse. That's interesting because most people I talk to have the same kind of progression where they think the first game is good, the second one's better or, well, greater, and the third one is ass. And I've been kind of more that the first one's pretty good, the second one's the best, and the third one is also kind of good. So it's more of a like kind of a mountain in like if it had to be represented for a graph, then it would be a sort of a mountain kind of with the second one peaking and the other two being more bottom kind of tier. But
yeah. I don't
don't know.
exactly remember what he said, but because I've never played any of those games, they're not really my thing.
No, yeah.
No.
I see. Yeah, I mean it's not a very particularly large series. It has some dedicated people playing and following it, but it's definitely not as popular as like the big AAA games. When I for example hop into some lobbies and stuff, and I see that most of the time I'm just playing against bots. Might be because I'm playing on European servers. Maybe they're just smaller, but yeah, it's definitely not too big of a game series. But well, to get back to what we were originally talking about of Whole Night Silksong, do you have any plans on how particularly you want to go forward with the series itself? If you want to do a review, or if you want to do a let's play, or if you want to stream it, or if you want to do multiple videos on the lore, or maybe if you want to do an analysis video, or what kind of stuff have you got planned, if we're allowed to ask?
One thing I know I'm definitely going to do is a speed run for the lore. Once I actually figure it out, I'm not smart enough to actually figure out lore by myself. Just gonna wait for Mossbag, then I'll do it.
Well done.
I'll definitely do a review too, and there'll probably be some other stuff I do. I just haven't figured it out.
Okay, so a bit of a see how it goes kind of vibe. That's good. Interesting. And do you have any ideas on when you would say the game might or might not release? Any predictions? We always...
Probably around November-ish.
This year?
Because then it's before the Christmas season.
Okay. Interesting.
That's just what I'd expect.
Huh. Pretty good call.
They might show a release date at E3.
Yeah. Many people seem to have some aspirations toward that. I'll be the judge to see if that one works out. But I'm definitely seeing some people excited for E3, which has been kind of interesting anyway, because I've seen on YouTube a lot of people are doing Silksong stuff at the moment, even though there's not really much going on. So I was just kind of surprised to see that there's a lot of people still talking about it nowadays. So
I mean,
have to see.
Silksong does get a lot of clicks.
True. That's a good point. Speaking of clicks, which is a great segue to our next segment, regarding your videos, you say you do a lot of variety content, but is there any one video or maybe even video series that you're most proud of, where you would say that if somebody were to ask what would be the living embodiment of your channel, of your what would you be most proud of? What would you show them?
Okay, this series probably gets the least views, but my reviews with a twist. I have 3 or 4. Undertale, Hades, and Cyberpunk. That's all I have right now. Cyberpunk isn't that great because I was still learning the editor at that time, and I'm always learning the editor. But I'm significantly better than I was now, and I think if you were to find my channel, that's what you'd want to watch. Even though, like, they don't get the most views, I like them, and I'm personally proud of them.
How much time do you spend editing such videos?
Whew. Yesterday I had a lot of free time. Not yesterday, the day before, because I was just at home. I was recovering from the vaccine. So I had already edited a bit. I spent 3 hours straight, but probably about 4, 5, 4.5 for that small one. Maybe a bit more.
4 to 5. Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. What software do you use for editing, if people are allowed to know?
I don't really keep that a secret. I use DaVinci Resolve 17.
Would you say it's a good software, or?
I would say it's a good software. I do just have a laptop, so sometimes I have a wooden desk. So if I just have the laptop on the desk gets hot, and the laptop also gets hot, so the laptop has nowhere to blow air. So I usually have to like just lay on the ground and edit.
Okay.
It's fine, honestly. It's pretty demanding for what I have, but it's a good software, and I enjoy using it personally. I really I don't love editing. It's fun for me, except for audio editing. That sucks.
Yeah. Was about to say it. Audio editing is the bloody worst. I mean, it might not. It might just be because I just have to edit out like me breathing all the time, and so I get it's just if I record myself for 9 minutes, I'm already just sighing at the thought of like having to go through all of that again just to edit out the and stuff. And yeah, I don't know, it's a mixed bag. Some of the stuff that you can do with like your video, and how you, for example, bring up images or memes, or how you do a funny video gag or something, or a funny meme at the beginning or something, that's cool, that's enjoyable. But the audio stuff, it's a miss for me.
I feel like the meme of the Mr. Incredible just looking at the computer over for just hours, just click.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah, exactly. That's it's a pain sometimes, but I mean, what we do for our fans, I mean, we would do everything, wouldn't we? So
yes, we would.
So, and we've already talked kind of about the Silksong project, kind of, but are there any other plans that you have for the channel, or for your current kind of series?
I talked about the Crowsworn video. I might have another. I have one actual video essay that I'm gonna do after that. That has a little bit to do with Hollow Knight and a little bit to do with the Soul series. Then another review maybe. And let me check my list, actually.
If you have the time, we don't want to. I mean, if you want to keep a secret, that's also totally viable. Just as a sort of sneak peek, we kind of thought.
I have one other thing, but that definitely is a secret.
Okay.
But I have at least 4 or 5 things lined up after this. Crowsworn kind of jumped the line here. Yeah. Even though I'm gonna be late to the party, I still want to make a video on it.
It did come out of it came out as a surprise that I didn't expect something to hit the community in quite the way it did. So yeah, every more content on it is always good content. So I mean, they seem to appreciate it very much. So
yes. And I'm probably going to be able to do it a little bit faster with school ending soon, and that'll be nice.
That'll be good. Indeed. Returning to your videos, kind of, would you say there is one video or one particular one that you would say, I wish I would have put more time into that, or are you kind of on the stance that every video you've done is the best that it could have been?
I'm a little bit of both. Because I know right now I could edit all of my videos so much better, but I also know that I learned so much from doing each of them that it just wouldn't make sense, really. one thing I do a little bit regret is not making some of the videos that kind of blew up longer, because I could have done that. Because usually the ones I put less effort into are the ones that get more attention. Because that's just
It's
this
weird,
way of
yeah.
life.
It's I haven't. Yeah, it's very weird that that happens. It's odd.
It's
That
YouTube fighting us.
yeah, it's that's what kind of deters me from doing like these. Like my favorite types of videos are these long retrospectives on games and stuff. Particularly everything that's longer than an hour is always very enticing to me, even though it takes a lot of time away from me. But that's the kind of thing that kind of keeps me away from it, because my biggest fear is like putting like really a lot of time into it, and then it's just basically, well, you could have done a 10-second meme and that would have gotten more views or something. So yeah, it's a hit or miss for me if I would ever do that, if I would ever consider that. So
The opportunity cost is just really high.
yeah,
You have to be pretty large to do something like that.
yeah,
Just hour
I think so
videos.
too.
Even
That's
though
true.
I love hour videos and I love just watching, just getting hit with a truckload of information, I personally am content with my 5-minute average.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think it's a better. It's definitely a bit more. How do you say, flexible towards lives if you don't have to do too much on it.
hmm And I feel like editing something like that would just drain my soul.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. I mean, sometimes I have that already, but even though I'm not particularly big on editing anyway. I mean, most of my editing, if I'm allowed to reveal that, isn't that complex. It's very barren at times. It's just mostly audio in front of gameplay, or well, in this series even worse. It's just it's just two people talking over one image, and that's basically it. So
Super editing.
I guess it just depends. It just depends, but yeah, I do feel that. Yeah, it sometimes does feel like work to do, even though it kind of depends on my mood anyway. But yeah.
hmm
Would you consider actually turning into a full-time YouTuber if given the opportunity? So, by chance, you get a buttload full of viewers and subscribers, and you are on the possibility of doing it. Would you consider doing it, or is it more of a side project for you?
Oh, that's actually a really hard question. I've never really thought about that. To be honest, I would keep it as a side project, probably, just because I would want to get an education, and I wouldn't give that up just for this. It's, I don't know. I'd probably just make that choice when I get there, just like pretty much all my other choices with YouTube. Kind of irresponsible, but
No,
it's a
it's. I
small
mean,
chance anyway.
it's a fair answer. I mean, it's just it isn't a very. I mean, for all that, like the idea itself of like being a YouTuber, a full-time one, is very enticing to many people. But I would say it's a very risky decision to take if you really go all into it. So I would be the same.
Especially
Yeah.
just having fame in general is a bit scary.
Yeah, it does come with a lot of negative side effects, I think. So I guess it depends, kinda.
It would be cool to be recognized, though.
That's always the
Oh,
best part, to see
stop.
people. Hey, aren't you that that guy? Yeah. Oh, my God. That's me. I mean, yeah. I guess there's pros and cons to it, just as there is to most other professions as well. It's just that from the people I've talked to, it kind of depends really how the size is at the moment. For some people that at least from like the scale that I've seen, is that people who are a bit smaller still, but have the chance of going on more, kind of safer with saying that they want to keep it as a side stuff. But people who are a bit bigger, they're more kind of enticed by the idea of perhaps going full time. So always just kind of like to hear if people would consider that option or not.
My mind might change as they get older. No idea.
Who knows? Who knows? We'll see what the future
It's only
holds
been
in
like
store for us.
7 months for me now, maybe 8.
7 months. Damn. I think I started about, 1.5 years ago, I think, was it? I think it was post MadPad days, definitely that phase. That was when I joined the community, and then I started kind of seeing if I wanted to do that again. But I had a channel before that, but it wasn't really the proudest moment of my life, so I'm very glad that one was gone. But,
what'd you do on that one?
Different. I mean, it was mostly my futile attempt at becoming a funny German Let's Player, but yeah, it was a hit or miss. I think some of it is just funny in the context of oh my god, look at that, what I did before, but I'm glad that one's gone from the face of the earth. So
I think you could do it.
I could try, yes. I mean, who knows?
Once you get big enough, just stop making the content you are now and just just do gameplay.
I think if you would change your content style completely, it would kind of definitely affect your viewership, which is something that have you kind of ever thought about changing like the style of your videos, but then you see that some of your other stuff gets more views, so you're more easily kind of swayed to doing more of the old stuff that gets more views instead of doing something new?
Well, as I explained earlier, I did do a lot of memes, and some of them did really well, and they're still some of the highest viewed stuff on my channel. But I, to be honest, didn't have much fun making those, and I had a lot more fun making just video essay type stuff and review type stuff. So that's what I transferred doing, and it doesn't really get the same attention, but it does make me feel more accomplished, and that's what I really value from it.
Respectable. That's something that good opinion, good choice. Well done. Gold sticker. So now we come to a fan favorite segment, which is where we turn the idea upside down and you get to ask the question and I answer as honest as I can, even though I don't know how that one will be, but now's your chance.
Okay, I just have one main question. It's how do you feel about being in the little kind of bubble of the Hollow Knight YouTube, and when you make something else it just doesn't really do as well as one thing you would have made about Hollow Knight?
It kind of played into the question that I asked like a minute ago, which is basically that I am very easily now swayed into doing just Silksong content because I see that is doing very well, very well. I mean, like, I don't know, but this one video I did basically 2 weeks ago, I think, this one Silksong meme, didn't really earn me any money, which is, of course, another aspect that other people see very importantly. I mean, for me, it's at this point, it's still just very small, so whatever. But there was this one meme I did, and I think now it has 166,000 views around, wow. I think. And it was just a basic, I think, 12-15 second Silksong meme. And for me, that was kind of fuck, because it basically shows me that the other videos that I really find interesting to do, like reviewing cartoons, reviewing video games, or other game series, reviewing what I had lately, a country album or a western album, that basically on the grand scheme of like the channel, these are kind of worthless. Like, I could have basically done anything else, and I could have just put maybe a meme even, and that would have gotten probably double the views.
Can I say one thing there?
Yeah, sure.
I might make a video on this later, but one thing I do want to point out is the difference between short-term and long-term YouTube growth and evergreen content. So, short-term YouTube growth, from my experience, is mostly helped out by keywords, Silksong, Hollow Knight, Elden Ring, and you'll get a viewer boost, and you might get some subs too, a good amount, but they don't really stick for too long because they're not really there for you. They're there for Silksong or Elden Ring or Hollow Knight. So when you make the other videos, when you review a country album or a game or Garden Warfare, the people that are there watching are really, they know a little bit about the game. They don't really need to watch the review. They're really there for you. And that's the kind of audience that I want to build. I mean, do you know of Scott the Woz?
Yeah, I do know.
Like, exactly, not exactly like that. I don't want to be exactly like him, but people know of what he's talking about. Of course, you're going to learn a little bit because he knows a lot. But you watch the video for Scott, you don't really watch it. I don't really care about, like, these weird Nintendo games I don't even own a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Why would I care? I still watched all his videos.
True. So it's more of a kind of a sort of following towards you as a person, as opposed to the videos themselves.
And I think, well, at least in an ideal world where everyone is me, because I go and watch, if I really like someone, I go and watch their old videos. So if that's what everyone does, then your past videos, evergreen content, stuff that people can watch even years after it's made, they'll get views still. For example, my Elden Ring, I was wrong about the Elden Ring release date video. It got a good amount of views, but in 1 year, nobody's going to be watching that. It's totally useless. But all my video game reviews will still be hopefully entertaining if you find them entertaining.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Didn't think about that one too much, yeah. I guess it really just depends on how well you can put yourself through that. I mean, maybe there's a mix of both, where on the one hand you can try to do more kind of short-term boost content, but on the other hand you can also do a bit of the long-term stuff. Just maybe have a combination of both, and if you're lucky you can both have regular viewers who like you as a person and watch your content regularly, or you can have the numbers to maybe even boost that, so more people coming into the channel.
I think that's what we both do. You just do it on a larger scale than I. Because without my main biggest video that kind of blew up, I wouldn't have really any audience. But now that I have somewhat of an audience, it has the opportunity to grow.
True.
You can't grow a tree without a seed.
Indeed. Wise words. It's true, yeah. I didn't think about that one too much. I guess that's a good point, that it's as long as you have people who regularly watch your content, then you always have at least someone. So I guess you should always be appreciative of the fact that there's people who are interested in watching your content. So thank you all for watching, if you're still watching, by the way. Very nice of you to tune in, and also check out Redtreevortex channel in the description below. Yeah, it'll definitely be worth your time. So
thank you for having me on.
It's been a pleasure. Are there any other questions that you have, perhaps, or any final
I do not
remarks?
think so, but I'm really glad I got to be here.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to have new people on. I mean, it's basically the only thing that keeps the show going, as I don't really have anything else to do, so it's always good. And yeah, it's been very nice having you. Here's your free gift card. So
Thank you so much.
That wasn't a bribe, by the way. So
I only did this for the money.
That's very good. That's what we always strive to do on YouTube. Just get the bloody money. Please. I just want to get paid. So Yeah, as I said before, guys, check out both the video if I remember. I hope I remember that one. I need to really put maybe an alarm clock or something, or write a post-it note or something. And check out Redtreevortex in the description. And yeah, if you like the video, like it and subscribe. And we'll speak to you guys soon. And now you can do your catchphrase, your famous Redtreevortex catchphrase.
Hey guys, I'm Redtreevortex. Okay, I don't really have a catchphrase.
Brilliant, my god. Stunning performance, stunning.
Oh, thank you.
Simply astonishing, really.
I'm
That's
bowing right
such
now,
talent.
just in case you can't tell.
Such magnificent, my god. Speak soon and adieu.